So let's talk about unaliving via lethal means. This is part two to my first video about unaliving. And the question is, do Black people specifically unalive themselves? We answer that question. Yes, they do. There's no differentiation between populations when it comes to unaliving. However, it has been proven for quite a while that a specific population, older white men, tend to unalive themselves more frequently than their peers. Now, that could be just because of the reporting aspect of it, because these are recorded cases of unaliving. And so the population of older white men has for quite a while been the target population of unaliving, suicidal ideation, suicidal attempts within the last few years. But anybody can have suicidal ideation and want to unalive themselves. Now, let's talk about lethal means now. So lethal means is what a person chooses to use as a way to unalive themselves. Now, me specifically, because I have tried to unalive myself twice in my lifetime. The first time I tried it with not prescription pills, it was like over the counter, like sleeping pills. And the only reason why I did that at 12 years old was because that was the only thing that I was accessible to. And then when I tried to do it again, I used a knife because that was the only thing that was accessible to me. So accessibility to means is a big indicator when someone is depressed or someone feels like they're hopeless and they can't go on. Accessibility to means is an important factor in whether or not a person is going to unalive themselves. Now, what we tend to want to track when we are assessing for lethal means and doing safety assessments and just checking in, doing safety plans, and just making sure people are not going to unalive themselves is whether or not they've used that means before. Now, typically people who have tried to use one means in the past and it was ineffective will try again using the same means because it's familiar to them. Now, when it comes to people trying to hang themselves, even though hanging specifically is difficult to do for yourself, by yourself, it's not necessarily impossible to do. So if a person has tried this before, has attempted to try to hang themselves in the past, maybe a trial test to see if it works, and they figure out, oh, I can do this, then they may actually try to use that as a means of unaliving themselves. So we cannot discount certain things just because it looks a certain way. We have to be open to the possibilities that there are people out here who are struggling with their mental health